And Willson Contreras joining the 100 career home run club, of which our own Mark DeRosa is a proud member.
You know all about it.
It only took me 14 seasons to get it done. But welcome to the club, Willson. First off, you know why I love the game?
Tell me.
7th inning stretch at Wrigley Field last night. People embrace college kids, families, singing Peanuts and Cracker Jacks, man, on a beautiful night in Chicago, and Willson Contreras hits his 100th homer. And I think people don't realize, I think back to 2016, being on a set of MLB Tonight and MLB Now, trying to figure out who should start the clinching game. Should it be his manager, David Ross? Do we trust him to just put the crafty veteran behind? Or do we put the young wild horse rookie behind home plate and let him catch? Joe Madden went with Willson Contreras that night, and then when John Lester came in out of the pen, he brought in David Ross. Pass ball, yard sale, stuff was flying. But he hits his 100th homer last night, and kind of like to fast forward 6 years later, he has been really good. Just a fiery, dynamic player for the Chicago Cubs, one of the last remaining soldiers of that World Series run. So let's get into him, because I think he is an interesting player. His numbers are really good this year. He is hitting .283. He's got 5 bombs, 14 RBIs, 14 walks. He's played on the biggest stages, right? So pause this real quick. Multiple postseason moments, 3 postseason homers. His rookie year, he's thrust into breaking a 108-year curse. He's watching his buddies walk out the door, doesn't mope, doesn't put his head down, and goes to work. He'll probably be one of the most desirable trade targets come the trade deadline this year. And him leading off, and don't sleep on the fact he can play a little outfield and DH. So last night, he hits the grand slam 0-0 ambush. Last player to do this, look at the fired up, right? Getting the people going. Last person to do this, George Springer. Not too long ago, doing the exact same thing. To be able to get up twice in the first inning and hit a grand slam will take you back to June 24th, 2016, Kauffman Stadium. George did the exact same thing. First AB, double in the gap, and then comes back up. Oh, by the way, Danny Tartabull did it before George Springer. We had to go in the archives. We almost broke the system finding this. 1986. But I want to get into not only his ability to drive the ball out to left field, but his ability to work the ball the other way. First off, pause this real quick. S-Rod, bring up the hard hit rate boards. Take a look at this. Highest hard hit percentage this season in the game.
Guess that.
What's that, Lauren?
We wouldn't guess that.
No, you wouldn't guess that. Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez. How about Christian Yelich? You know, as much as we knock him, he's having a pretty darn good year to start the season. But Willson Contreras, they're at 60% on the hard hit rate board. So let's dive in, because there's a lot of things I love about him. There he is. He's that wild horse, right? 0-0, sitting breaking ball off Bryce Wilson. Grand slam. But if you really dive into what he's doing this year, this is a guy, like I said, the great hitters have the ability to have what? The bullet to right, bullet to the opposite field in their back pocket. And Willson Contreras has been doing a lot of this year if you dive in on him. Driving the ball up the middle the other way. There's Walker Buehler. 0-2 count, 95, fighting it off. Nick Martinez out in San Diego, and the ability to go deep as well. So his spray chart is pretty impressive. When we'll get into it, run this back to right at the beginning, because I always like to look at when they first broke into the league. Right there, pause. And what they're doing now. We looked at Bryce Harper yesterday. A lot of moving parts, and everything seems to have gotten tighter with maturity and kind of understanding how guys want to attack them, understanding the biomechanics of their swing. Willson hasn't changed much. It's pretty spot on from the moment he broke in 2016. Yeah, maybe he's a little wider here. You see that a lot with guys. They start to clean it up. They start to get in their most athletic position, be in their most powerful position. But this is a guy that has not deviated where he puts his hands, has not deviated his path to the baseball, and has really trusted himself throughout the course of his career. And given David Ross multiple options right here. Let him off last night. So he's going to be an attractive piece or an extension candidate. But take a look at his 2022 spray chart. You want to have a great season, you got to be able to use the entire field, and that's exactly what he's done. If anything, most of his singles and doubles are the other way, a couple down the left field line, rolling over to third base bag. But for the most part, he is thinking big part of the field at Wrigley Field and taking it to task. So Willson Contreras, he's having a special start to the season, but he's kind of always been that fiery igniter.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. He got put in the leadoff spot.